Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So I am here to set up our budget for the month of October. Of course, I am going to be using our budget planner, and if you want to know why, the short answer is because I like it and it's effective. I personally believe that when dealing with managing money and finances, we should adopt methods that are likable, so ones that we like, and ones that are effective, so ones that we find effective. So if using loose leaf paper is effective for you, use that method. If using a bullet journal is effective for you, use that method. If using an electronic budgeting app is effective for you, use that method. If using an Excel worksheet is effective for you, use that method. I believe that we should be using methods that are effective and that we actually enjoy. And this is the method that brings me the most joy and that I can say is the most effective. I don't believe in trying to fix things that aren't broken, so I'm not trying to encourage anybody to jump on the, budget planning bandwagon. But if you're trying a method that's not really, if you're doing something that's not really working out, I fully encourage you to try different methods. And there are many, many methods for managing finances. This is the one that I absolutely enjoy and that is the most effective for us. So anyway, let's go ahead and talk about October, because we know, if you've been following me, you know that October is gonna be a pretty interesting month, a pretty cool month, and I'm excited to kind of lay it all out with you guys right now and just see what we're gonna be working with for the month of October. So let's go ahead and jump into the video. Okay, so what I first like to do is make sense of the month. So I like to just go in and write in bills and paydays and all of that. So on the 3rd, we have cable/internet, and that bill amount does not change. It is pretty much the same every month. So we're gonna put that in here, and then we're gonna put in rent/water/pest control, and our rent has gone up to $750 and pest control is now included in that. If you're wondering like what the deal is with the pest control that we were supposed to be paying, I have no earthly clue, because they continue to not charge us for it. So we'll talk about the actual budget in a minute though, but for the 9th, that is a credit card, and that's going to be my husband's. And oftentimes we don't have anything on the credit card, on either of our credit cards, but if we do, I'll write in that amount. If it doesn't, like, it's always due on the 9th and my credit card is always due on the 18th. So if there is any bill that we have to pay, we normally will pay it. But since we're still in September, I don't know if it's going to be paid in September or if we're just going to let it come out on October the 9th. But either way, we don't put but like a few $100s on those anyway, and it's just like random stuff. So on the 18th, that will be another credit card, but it will also be my husband's gym, and then we have my gym. Again, same with my credit card, but we do know the gym amounts. And then moving on to this is going to be electricity. We will not know how much it will be exactly, but I'll show you guys what we do in a minute. And then this is going to be my husband's student loan and then my student loan, and we do know how much they will be. My husband's minimum payment for his student loan is going to be $221.78, and then, oh man, those are backwards. Mine is $221.78 and his is $73.42, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter. And then our cell phone bill is $86.50, and then the last one that we have is life insurances, and those bills are the same amount every month at $42.19. So as you can see, we have paydays, and then I do have a bill due here, but that's really a birthday. And I'll probably send, let's see, she'll be like 15. I mean, I might do like 75 to 100. So I'm gonna just put 75 on here. I feel like that's enough. And then the rest of them are paydays. So we have Etsy paydays on here every Monday. I have my YouTube payday on here on the 21st. And then the paydays from our full-time jobs. So sometimes I'll mark them and put like my full-time, Shay full-time, Mark full-time, whatever. But this month, I don't really care a whole lot about that. I do have a few notes. So on the 6th, I have a birthday, my niece. And then here we'll be in Oregon. So I'm just gonna put Portland, Oregon. We will be there together for, I have an event there, a speaking engagement. So that's a thing that we will be doing. And then the other note, honestly, I only have one other note, and I would say that was, what was my other note? I had another note. Oh, well, that's not really a note. I don't think that matters a whole lot. We are having a drawing on October 1st at work to see who wins the, like, we're donating for the breast cancer. We're donating for breast cancer. We haven't exactly figured out which cause we're going to donate the money to. We're going to allow someone who, one of our coworkers who has experienced breast cancer. I don't know the details, so I don't know like where she is in the treatment process or whatever, but we're going to allow her to choose where we donate the money to. But in the meantime, there is going to be a drawing, and I do want to, so basically if you donate, for every $1 you donate, you get a raffle ticket and you can win the employee of the month. It's like a new thing that we're doing. I'm on that committee where we plan all of this. You can win a parking spot. And so that's on the 1st, but I think I'm going to go ahead and donate my money in September. Obviously, I don't want to do it on the last day. So that was one thing that I was going to remember, but it's not really worth remembering. So what I want to do now is actually write out our actual budget. So let me get zoomed in and we will go down the list and talk about our actual monthly budget. Okay, so for my income, we're just going to put Shay here. And then we're going to put Mark. And I didn't leave enough spaces for the total, but it's fine. So I am actually going to budget for my income $8,850, which is kind of crazy, I know, but I am currently in the process of negotiating an amount that I would like to be paid for some work that I'm going to do that relates to YouTube, which obviously, I mean, oftentimes when I do that, it's like pretty good money. So I don't do it often, but when I do it, I feel like it's worth it to only do it every now and again or whatever, or to only be doing it every now and again. So that is what I'm going to do. That's why it's so high like that. That does include my full-time job, YouTube, Etsy, all of my sources of income, with a large amount of that being what I'm currently in the process of negotiating. I'm negotiating it now. I do not intend to be paid for it in September, but rather October, because it takes a while for that money to come through. So that's why I'm budgeting for it for October, even though I'm currently in the process of negotiating. My husband's income, we actually do not budget for, or we don't use it to budget because we save all of it, and that all of his money goes straight to savings. I use his very lightly because obviously we share all expenses and all of our income, and we do really well, honestly, working like a team like that. So we are in the process of, our house is being built, so we're kind of in the process of buying a house. I mean, we are, but you know, the house has to be built first. So that's pretty much why we're going to be going pretty hardcore when it comes to savings. But let's go ahead and zoom down this list here. So the first bill that we have comes from the housing category, and we are going to budget for rent, water, and pest control, and our new rent amount is $750 even. The next thing that we're going to budget for comes from the utilities category, and that is cable/internet, and the amount remains $110.72. because we are under contract. Our electricity bill. So I looked on the Georgia Power app, which gives you like an estimate, and they have said that we're on week 3 of September. They say that we've used about $66, and they're expecting let me get myself together. They are expecting our bill for October, or the final bill for September, which we will pay in October, to be anywhere from like 90 to 117. So with that being said, I normally like to just be safe, so I'm going to budget 125. I have looked into budget billing, but a lot of you don't have nice things to say about it. And also, whenever we move into this new well-insulated house, I do not expect to be paying the types of bills that we are paying right now, because in the summertime they can be pretty ridiculous. Just because this apartment is like mad old and not insulated, and it's just a hot mess. So just talking to people who live in the development, and also just speaking with the realtor or the agent there, they are not expecting us to be paying $250, almost $300 for electricity bills here in the summer, like when we move into that house. So that's very promising for me, and I'm happy about that. The next one is going to be phone. So our cell phones are paid together. We're on like the same plan. We do have AT&T prepaid, and together we pay $86.50. The next category is lifestyle. So we have my allowance, which continues to remain the same amount every month, is $100, and that's a pretty good amount because there aren't really things that I want that I can't buy with $100. Because while I do want a lot of stuff, usually it's normally like little cheap stuff here and there, or I may get a new bag, but it's like a $50 bag or $40 bag. I may get some new shoes. I do want a lot of stuff. It's just not really expensive stuff. My husband's is the same amount. Now, some months we do go over, and other months we stay under, so it just kind of all evens out at the end of the year, and the average is about $100. So beauty, so in my head, I am going to start doing press-on. So I'm doing S&S nails now, and you see how long these are my nails. That's how long my actual nails are. So I'm going to, like in my head, when I go next time to get, well, I need to go now, but when I go to get these taken off, I'm just going to either get like a manicure, or I'm going to do press-on nails in my head. But I do plan to get my hair done next month, so I'm going to budget for $200 for those two things. So hair, eyebrows, my little press-on nails, or my manicure, and then also my husband's haircut. The next one is donation/gifts. So this is only for donation/gifts that we predict, but also for ones that are minimal. So we like to keep track of that, and this is how we do that. So you won't ever see all the donating and giving that we do every month, because a lot of that just comes out of our account, out of our savings account in particular. So this is really just for, I'm going to give my niece like $75 to $100, and then also we budget a minimum of $50 every month, and that's for random giving to people who ask, like on the street, or car washes, or fundraising stuff, or breast cancer awareness stuff at work, like that kind of stuff. So $150 is what we are budgeting for the month of October, mainly for my niece's gift, and then like random giving. The next one is toiletries. So some months we do really good at this, and we're like at $25. Other months it's just a hot mess, so I'm expecting it to be a hot mess, and I'm going to budget $50. The next one is miscellaneous, and this should really go at the bottom, but I'm just going to put it here, and we're going to budget $100 for that, which that just encompasses all random stuff that doesn't fit in any of the other categories, like an oil change or a new fan. I don't know, just random stuff that doesn't quite fit in any other category. The next one is travel. So we are going to Portland, Oregon. Our flights are paid for, our parking at the hotel, and also our hotel rooms. I'm going for a speaking engagement. My husband is coming too. So really the only thing that we need to do is eat, and you know, just do an excursion or whatever we're gonna do. So I'm budgeting $500. The weekend after that, I have another engagement, and that technically isn't gonna come out of travel because that's a business expense. So I'm gonna show you what I would do in that situation. So this is pretty much for Portland. The next one is business. So oftentimes you don't see all of my business expenses in here, but I do like to put this in here just to kind of show you guys what I'm averaging for business. So I do plan to upgrade some stuff, so you know, that stuff will be coming soon. I make budget stickers like these, which you can find in my Etsy shop, which are linked below, and I plan to do some stuff, so I need to buy some stuff. That's a whole lot of beating around the bush, which I don't often beat around the bush, but when I'm working on something and I'm not sure if it's going to really come to fruition and I don't want to speak it into the atmosphere in case it does not, then I beat around the bush. So I have that going on. Also, this is just for the other business expenses that I have, and if I do any spending for that engagement that I have, it would come out of business as well. So the next one is health. So we have Shay Gym, and then we also have Mark Gym, which his is going to be canceled. It is canceled actually right now, and it will not come out after December because he signed up this January and he's gone probably twice. So there's really no need because the gym that was closest to us actually closed down, so which was the one that I could not bring a person, but I can bring a person at the other gym that's now closest to us. So therefore he doesn't really need a membership, because if he does go, it's normally because I'm there or I'm going, so we might as well cancel his. Plus we'll be further away now, so I don't really see him going. He might, I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be closed. I mean, it's gonna be ended by the time we move into this house anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter. So the next one is medical. So I do have to go for a checkup with my doctor. My vitamin D. I'm like, why am I going to the doctor again already? She wants me to come back to check on my vitamin D deficiency, which is probably still a deficiency because I lost my vitamin D pill, so there's that. But anyway, I think the copay was like $60, so I'm just gonna put $65 in case I was wrong, although I could just look back and see that's kind of the purpose of this, but neither here nor there. The next category is gas. So my husband does have a car now, got a free car from his grandma, so I am back to budgeting $160 for gas, which we're not really doing $160, but also I feel like eventually we will get back up to doing like $160, so that's why I'm continuing to budget $160. He hasn't, I mean, we've only had the car for like a hot minute, not even a month, so he hasn't really spent a whole lot as of right now, but I feel like we might start getting back up there soon, so $160 there. And then the next one is insurance. So we do have car insurance, but we don't pay that again until December. And oh my gosh, I had an emphasis on that because I just remembered that we do need to be mindful of that, you know, because that's going to be due literally right before we move into the house, provided it's finished whenever they say it's going to be finished, which is around the second week-ish of December. So that's not due again until December because it's paid up. But life insurance, we do pay monthly, and they come out together, even though obviously they're separate policies, but they do come out together, and together they are $42.19. And then we do have renter insurance, but it's another thing I have to do. I need to make a note of the things that I need to do when I get up out of here, and that's call the renter insurance people, tell them I've moved out, give me my money back, because I have that paid up until next May. The next one is food, which I'm going to budget a whole lot for food because I am doing Jenny Craig, but also it's just a lot going on. So I like to, if you can't tell, I'm trying to be realistic here. We used to do like $400 a month, like $125-ish for groceries, which that's still a lot of money. $125, $250. That was like $500 a month. It's just my husband and me, and then we would do like $200 for eating out or date nights because we would go. So sometimes we go through the drive. We would go through the drive-through a lot. Other times we would go on like a fancy date night, and we can easily spend $200. Like it's not no problem if we go to like Ruth's Chris or something. So we were doing like $600, but now that I'm doing Jenny Craig, I mean, it really isn't that much more expensive. So I'm budgeting $1,000 to be on the safe side. And then the next one we have, so we're not paying any extra money towards debt in this current moment. We're trying to finish saving for the house, which I think that's going to be finished at the end of September. So I'm not really tripping about that, but just being safe before we start throwing a bunch of money towards debt again. But we are really, well, in our heads, we're pretty close to paying off my husband's student loans. So we do intend to do that as quickly as possible. Either like right when we move into the house, take some money from the savings and put it towards and pay off his debt, or spend some time next year after getting into the house and getting situated, paying off his student loans. It won't be hard. It's just a matter of trying to balance everything. Okay, so we have student loans. So we have Shay's loan, and then we have my husband's student loan. And if you're wondering what we like have going on over here, we are on a mission to pay off all of our debt. And the only debts that remain so far after 2 years, we've paid off, I think the last I checked was like $53,000. So what remains is student loan debt, and we still have our plan to pay off it. We've just decided to go ahead and move into this house because we like it and we want to. That's pretty much the only reason that we have for that. And so the next one is going to be savings. So this is just going to be the savings from my income. And it's a little hefty, but primarily because of that gig that I'm working on, or that has been like, it's pretty much in the works. I'm just waiting for like a final, okay, here's your payment, blah, blah, blah. Like that's pretty much where we're at with that. So that would just be from my income. Of course, we would save all of my husband's income, and then this would be what we call a rollover. So we're going to try to roll over roughly $1,000, which is probably a little more than in recent months, and that is because rent has gone up, so we want to be able to accommodate rent. So I'm just going to flip back. This is our savings tracker if we do want to say like track what we're saving, which I mean it's whatever. I am going to flip back and put doctor here, and then I got birthday here, and then that's pretty much it. Oh, I am going to be out of town here. I'll be in Charlotte. So I'm just gonna put that here just like as little reminders. And that, you guys, is how we are setting up the budget. I will mark some goals and stuff like that a little later. I have to wait until I see what we don't accomplish in September before I put in October's goals, of course, because I want to see what we get accomplished in September. But this is our budget for the month of October, and yeah, that's pretty much how we're going to be rocking and rolling and moving into October. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.